Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rina the Wolf and I'm back, yes, with another tipsy story time. I know that I have been roasting toxic people for a long time, but today I am here to confess that when I was younger, I used to be very toxic. So a few stories popped into my mind from my teenagehood and from my early 20s, and I'm not proud of these stories, but just for clarification, even though I keep roasting toxic people now, I used to be very toxic. So the first story that popped into my mind is from my teenagehood. I was around 15 or 16, and when I was a teenager, well, truth be told, I kind of had a double life. I had some friends my parents had no idea about, but we kept partying like nonstop. However, when I think I was 15 or almost 16, it was technically the end of the year, I got a boyfriend. Yeah, you heard it well. I used to have some boyfriends. I tried real hard to date boys, but it was emotional torture for me. Anyway, I got together with this guy. However, a few months prior, I met a girl, and I thought that, hey, something is definitely between us. We met on a gig, and we were a little bit drunk, and we made out. Like, literally, during the whole gig, we were making out, and my mom freaked out because there was actual pictures of that gig on the internet, and us kissing was very, very much visible. And we, kept like hooking up and stuff. We never had sex, by the way, but a few months later I got together with a guy, but I kept hooking up with this girl. By the way, they knew each other and they were also friends, which just made things like much more cringeworthy, I guess. Looking back, I definitely label this as one of the most cringeworthy things I've done. Anyway, the worst part of it is that even though I was dating this guy and I was hooking up with this girl, I had a girlfriend as well. She was very sweet about everything, and she was like, yeah, just do it, I don't mind. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I think she was also attracted to this toxicity. And after a while, I broke up with my girlfriend because I felt like she was too much at the time. And even though I tried to have sex with the guy, it never worked out. I was technically forcing myself to do this, just to be normal. But he noticed that all I was thinking about the girl I was hooking up with. And it's a little bit pathetic. I know, it is pathetic. But I did not want to let him go because I was like feeling normal. We are talking about the 2000s in Eastern Hungary. So it was not an easy era for me. And when the guy broke up with me, not much after that, to be more particular, at the beginning of that summer, we also ended things with the girl. And after that, I started to hook up with yet another guy. I was a mess, and I feel like I kept leading him on. And I just think I wanted some clarity because I had no idea what I was doing. I I was gay. Back then, I labeled myself as bisexual. But then things started to go downhill, like in a split second, unfortunately. And I was trying so hard to figure out what I was doing. And I dated some other guys. In the meantime, there was this other girl. And when I came out as bisexual, I think she was falling for me. She was, I think, a senior in elementary school, so around the age of 13, 14, and I was like 15, 16-ish. And she just really wanted to be around me. She confessed several times that she was in love with me. And I kept her close, but never as close as she wanted me to be. So what happened was I kept playing with her feelings as well. And I know it's so not right. So with this girl who was really in love with me, when I was already in university, we started to pick up the pieces. At least that's what she tried. And we met up sometimes between or after my courses. And to be honest, this period of my life is a blur. Most probably I did have a girlfriend back at the time. That's why it was so toxic. And there were some times when I decided to lead her on. Like, we hooked up, we did have sex, and I felt nothing. And I kept telling her that, listen, it's nothing to me. We are having fun, and that's all that is happening. And I didn't even realize back in the day how toxic I was. But I was like freaking toxic, wasn't I? Every time I cheated on someone, I felt no remorse. Maybe because I was really young, maybe because I was a really toxic person, but I felt no remorse at all. I was just like, hey, I'm young, I'm just having fun. Dude, don't do that. You're not just young and having fun. You're fucking toxic. And there were times when I didn't tell my girlfriends that I cheated on them. So, yes, I was toxic, and just about like 2 or 3 months before, I hooked up with a girl and I told her that I want something casual, and she agreed that it would happen. But it didn't happen. She started to develop feelings for me, and I said it's not okay. It was not okay because I really wanted something casual. But later on we talked about this and we hooked up again. And just about 2-3 weeks ago, we started hooking up again. And I know that I really hurt her. And we had huge fights about this because I said I will try to be with her this time for real. But I want to, see others as well, to meet other people, because I cannot guarantee anything. And this time, I started to develop feelings for this girl. But I met others, I hooked up with others, and I like her so much I started venting about people to her. That's the way I am when I really, really like someone. And it's just toxic. If someone loves you, you should not talk about how many people you see or hook up with. So I was toxic again. And this time, I really have no excuse for that. I was, and I still am, a toxic person for no goddamn reason. And I have no idea if I have always been toxic. I have no idea if the circumstances make me toxic. I don't know if the people around me make me toxic. What I know is that I hurt this girl, despite I know how much she loves me. And now we ended things just because I really don't want to hurt her anymore. And I know these things are unforgivable, even though I did have permission to be with others. It's just not the way I want to live my life. And these things happen very rarely to me, that I feel like, hey, I want to cheat. Hey, I want to treat you like a piece of garbage. Because usually I am the person who gives her partners the princess treatment. But lately, I have been feeling broken. And I know it is still no excuse for what I've done to her. And maybe I am really toxic, but I am trying to hide it. Maybe I am just trying to convince myself and others that I'm not a toxic person. But sometimes I do hurt people. To be honest, in my 20s and in my last 2 relationships, I was a very loyal person. I never cheated. I never hurt them intentionally. But you guys know about my self-defense mechanism. But now I just feel so broken that I had to take it out on someone. This person didn't deserve this. And I know. Being toxic is not something you choose. And maybe I am toxic only when I'm broken. But this is still not a good excuse to hurt others. So, I have my own personal development plan again. And hopefully in my next relationship, I will not be a toxic piece of shit again. If you guys ever feel toxic, just think about why you feel that way, what you've done to feel that way, and just try to do the opposite. Or just break up with someone if you don't want to hurt them. Hurting each other in a relationship is inevitable, without a doubt. But we can always learn and we can always do better. Okay guys, this was my rant about how toxic I am. If you like this video or you could relate to this, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be part of the notification squad. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.